Yeah! Here we go!
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and you are listening to the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, the place to find my Raw and Uncut in podcast form. And today's episode, I'm going to do something a little bit different, Angry Cowboys Fan family. I'm going to be going over the clips that I thought were very important during the Dak Prescott training camp video yesterday in Oxnard, California. I see people clipping the hot takes from this interview, whether it's fans on Facebook or the talking heads from the 3 and 4 letter networks. They're only clipping sound bites that focus on the negative to drive home the overarching narrative of this being Dak Prescott's last year in Dallas. I don't want to just clip the sound bites to try and go viral and stuff like that. That's not your man. I want to go over the clips that I thought were very important throughout this interview and give you my raw and uncut on them. This video is going to be a little long, hence the fact why I'm doing it in podcast form, because I got a lot of clips for y'all. So if you're ready to go over this interview,
Give me a hell yeah!
Give me a hell yeah. And for copyright purposes, I had to put the picture over the audio like I always do. So let's go ahead and get into the first clip of the interview from Dak Prescott.
Hey Dak, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Jerry today, I know asking you again, but Jerry today was talking about with your contract status, saying that, you know, I do think he'll be back. I don't think he's not going to be here anymore. I don't view this as his last season. Do you have anything to say on that you haven't said before, or just want to reiterate your stance?
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Honestly, I don't. I'm focused on now. It's always been my message. I think I've always told y'all that. I'm about being present where my feet are, and honestly, that was kind of the team message, and that's what's great is from Chad Bolin to Mike McCarthy to everybody. That's kind of just been our message, and so that's right aligned with my views, what I want to do, and I'm gonna keep it at that. And great start to camp, and good start to camp, and that's where my focus is. Honestly, I'm not into those talks anymore. They know that. I've told you guys once this thing kicks off, I'm going to do what I can to control my game, my effort to help this team win, and the people who I pay or we pay to make those decisions and deals will negotiate.
You gotta love Dak Prescott's personality. Come on, y'all. But anyway, the here and now. Dak Prescott says that's the team's philosophy. But is it? I've mentioned this before in previous videos, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys have an issue with never being in the here and now. We are either celebrating the triplets from the 90s, we're continuing to talk about the greatness of Roger Staubach. If it's not the past, we're looking past opponents to the future, trying to figure out the easiest route to the NFC Championship. So does this organization really share the same ideology that the players and the coaching staff share? I don't know, Cowboys Nation, but let's go ahead and get into the second clip.
Clarence Hill, Forward Star Telegram. The environment around the start of camp with ICD and the talk about not improving the team, are y'all best situated to go further this year? What's your excitement about this team being able to go further when you still got, as Jerry said, all this ambiguity about this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing you can take from a star player not being here is the guys that have to step up, and the fact that we're going to need those guys to go further. So you got to look in the good in this, and that's for me. I can't control that guy's contract, can't control what Jerry, when it's going to get done. Hopefully it's something like last year with Zach, and before we know it, he's here and back. And so nobody wants him to get paid more than I do. So big fan, and that getting done as soon as possible. But in the meantime, there's guys that need to make big plays. Guys need to step up. Tolbert showed some of that today. And for me, it's about, as you say, being all in right now, and the players that we have that are here. And Understanding CD will take care of his business, and when the business part gets done, he'll be back, and I know he'll be ready to go. But there's other players that need to take advantage of him not being here, their opportunities, and understanding they're going to be called and counted on when the time comes.
See, if I were CeeDee Lamb, this is what I would be scared of, Cowboys Nation. Don't get it twisted. I would want my teammates to step it up and ball, but if I'm not there to show everybody that I'm still that dude, someone else may step up and become that dude, causing yet another franchise tag and a possible trade to another team, a team that has less of a chance at a Super Bowl than we do. It opens doors for somebody to come and replace you if you don't report to training camp. The good thing about CeeDee Lamb's situation is that there's nobody on the roster that can come close to his production on the field. Not Brandon Cooks, not Jalen Tolbert, not Kevontae Turpin. There is no wide receiver that matches the output from CeeDee Lamb. So I'm pretty sure he is safe in his position in holding out. But let's go ahead and go to the third clip that I got.
What do you say to the fans who are still disappointed in your team after what happened to you in postseason last year?
Be fans or don't be fans. If you're a fan, you're gonna turn the page just as we do. You're gonna move forward, understanding that you've got better ahead of you. I just talked about being present and being in the now, and that's in your beliefs. That's whoever you're believing in. That's how you see your family, your friends, your favorite team. So that goes to life, is to move on. Yeah, sorry, obviously, but nobody. It hurt us more than it did them, and obviously it's on us to get back and to do better. But yeah, move on.
That statement was straightforward, Cowboys Nation. Either be a fan or don't be a fan. If you don't believe in this team and the players on this team, go find yourself another team. Point blank, period. Something the coaches tell their players? They tell their players to leave everything on the field. Either it's between possessions or the games. The coaches will tell you to leave everything on the field and continue to move forward. Some in Cowboys Nation has an issue with moving forward. The only time that they're in the here and the now is if something negative is happening that they can dwell on. We are going into the 2024 season, and we're still talking about what happened during the 2016 playoffs. We are still holding what happened to our team in the 2021 playoffs over their head. I know Dak Prescott can't catch a break when it comes to that. Even if it sounds harsh, Dak Prescott is absolutely right. Cowboys Nation has to move on. Stop case building and worry about what this team is going to do this season and not last season or 4 seasons ago. Like I said in my previous video, when you have one foot in the past and one in the future, you piss all over the present. Let's just focus on the team we have constructed today in the 2024 training camp and not compare them to the teams of the 90s, and let's stop comparing our QB1 to yesteryear. Let's go ahead and continue.
Network. This is not a gotcha question. This is a question for you personally. Why have you chosen to never hold out as you're going through your contracts or extension talk?
I held out once in the offseason back in COVID. But I love this game. They're paying me well for this season, so to get paid to play this game is great. Once again, I've said it before. I have an obligation to the NFL, to other quarterbacks, and to my teammates when it comes to what I get paid, what I accept, and that's where sometimes, I leave it to my agents. And obviously, I'll come in and, it is kind of my say-so at the end of the day, but I just love this game. And as I told you, I obsess over getting better and improving, being out there with the guys. So that's always my focus. But trust me, I understand other guys. You got to think I also don't get touched at practice. Some of these other guys don't. I mean, a guy like CD, he comes out here, there's a lot more risk for him than it is for me. So I understand every part of the business and everybody's perspective or their route that they take. But for me, the best way for me to get better is being out here with my guys. And that's just the connection, the timing, and all that. So,
I don't think Dak Prescott has it in him to hold out. He said he held out like he got away with something, but I don't see him not showing up. This is quality leadership attributes, Cowboys Nation. I understand what he meant about CeeDee Lamb and the other guys, taking hits and everything. They get hit. The quarterback doesn't get hit, so he has less to worry about in practice. I just hope and pray that they can figure out CeeDee Lamb. But let's continue.
Dak, we talked a lot about the business aspect of things, and I'm curious, even when you say your feet are here where they are, if you've thought about what this league means and whether or not you're here as a Cowboy next year, you will be well taken care of with the way the business works in the NFL.
For sure.
And if that is the case, and if you've thought about it, have you found any freedom, any liberation in that, trying to find the best you can be?
Yeah, I'm free. Yeah. To your point, that is the freedom in it, and that's why you have to focus where your feet are. And as I said, it's a two-way street that they have once, I have once. I think I've deserved that, understanding that this is a business. And obviously I want to be here. Talking about growing up, this is where I've become a man. So, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And, when I'm going to say it. I want to be here, but when you look up, all the great quarterbacks I watched played for other teams. So my point in saying that is that's not something to fear. That may be a reality for me one day, may not be my decision. So that's the freedom that I have is be where your feet are, make the most of it, be confident in yourself, make your team better. I love my teammates. I love that locker room. I love everything about being out here in Oxnard and being a Dallas Cowboy. So that's what allows me to be free and focused and understand that when time comes, who knows what comes. As I said, I've been through a lot of adversity personally, that it's about, being thankful for where you are, hugging and loving on your loved ones and taking it one day at a time and handling the rest when it approaches.
This was the clip that jumped out to me, Cowboys Nation, when he smiled and said, "I'ma say it." You could tell that this was something that he spoke to somebody about and they cautioned him in saying it. This is also a negotiation tactic. Jerry and Stephen Jones had their press conference earlier where Jerry said that there was some things he couldn't have in life or he couldn't afford it and he had to part ways with. He also said that he wants Dak Prescott to be here past the 2024 season as the quarterback for our team. In negotiations, you can't allow the other side to feel as if they have the upper hand on you. You have to reveal a card or two, but not your entire hand. You also have to employ reverse psychology. This is what both Jerry and Dak are doing. They say the true things first, then they find out that they left themselves vulnerable to the other side, so they have to put something out there like, "We want you, but we don't need you." Classic reverse psychology. But we're coming up on the last clip that I got for y'all. The reporter asked Dak if he thinks about the legacy of Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks and the fact that none of them parted ways with the Dallas Cowboys. They all retired as Dallas Cowboys. I love his response, Cowboys Nation. So let's go ahead and get into it so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, take a listen.
You mentioned earlier about the great quarterbacks playing for other teams. I just wondered if not, maybe even not right now, but just through your time as Cowboys quarterback, have you ever thought about how the franchise quarterback for the Cowboys usually does it, though? Whether you talk about Roger, Danny White, Troy, Tony, like they only play for the Cowboys. Have you ever thought about that at all?
No, not at all. I don't know if they were in my position, either of the contract holdouts or whatever you call it. So all things and aspects are different, man. I don't ever really look and compare. And as I said, I control what I can control, and the rest will take care of itself. As I said, I don't look forward and say, hey, I'm going to go play for another team. My feet are here. But that's been a reality in this league for a lot of guys. And so my sense is, as I said, control what I control, and that's making this team better and winning and doing the most that I can to win here right now. And the rest will take care of itself.
That's what I'm talking about, Dak. Don't get him any leverage. Did you hear how he said, nah? I am so glad that he said that none of the other quarterbacks were faced with the issues Jerry and Stephen Jones has put him in since being a Dallas Cowboy. We know Tony Romo had zero issues with getting his bag. He was never franchise tagged twice before he got his first contract. The way this organization has treated this man in Dak Prescott is unprecedented and frankly is bullshit. But y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
Keeping it real, they keep it real, that's real.
I had to get on this, Cowboys Nation. I had to talk about this entire interview because what he's saying is getting clipped and shared on social media in order to get clicks and engagement. Talking heads are turning it into hot takes even though the entire interview was very informative. It boggles my mind that how little respect this man is getting from the Dallas Cowboys organization. It sometimes pisses me off how little respect he gets from some of the fans in the fan base. People hoping negativity on him when he's going out there trying to do his damn job at a high level. It's not good enough, and it'll never be good enough until he or the quarterback after him wins a Super Bowl. You know, I was trying to have a conversation with a woman in the Facebook fan page for the Dallas Cowboys. She said that the Super Bowl is the ultimate prize, which it is. My rebuttal was being rich is the ultimate prize that we all shoot for. The majority never reach that goal, but does that make you less of a person if you don't make it? Because you don't make it in a few years, do you give up, change occupations, and try there? Or do you continue to put in the work where you're at? Do you learn from your mistakes and try to better yourself in your craft in order for one day to reach that ultimate goal? Or do you just give up? Do you blow it all up because it's not happening? No, you don't. But I know what some may say. This is sports, Angry Cowboys fan. It's different than being a millionaire. Okay. There was a time in sports where fans, players, coaches, and the front office looked at the positives of the season and built off of it. They go and they look at the tapes and they figure out what went wrong for us as a team. They come together and they create an improved philosophy and scheme for the team going forward. They add pieces that are needed, whether through the draft or free agency, and they replace the players that they got rid of with players that are better and younger. For some reason, we don't do that. If we didn't make it to the Super Bowl, then the season was a wash and it needs to be blown up for some reason. People act as if the Super Bowl just became the goal. It's been the goal, but we unfortunately live in a world filled with instant gratification and expectation. Back in the day, a quarterback could be great, not make it to a Super Bowl, but still go down in that team's history as a great quarterback. Not today, Cowboys Nation. The 3 and 4 letter networks determine what is important to some of us fans, and some of us fans regurgitate the nonsense that they hear. The goals get told to us by said networks, and some go along with it. Now, it's making it to the NFC Championship. Now, it's becoming an all-pro. Now, it's putting the entire team on your back and winning despite all the odds. The thing is, when the Dallas Cowboys eventually do this, the 3 and 4 letter networks will alter what's acceptable and some fans will repeat it. I just don't get it, Cowboys Nation. Just imagine, Cowboys Nation. If the Dallas Cowboys were to win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott at quarterback, the 3 and 4 letter networks will be talking about how long it took. They'll say, I bet they can't do it again. I bet they can't repeat. They'll talk about the defense and how the team relied on solely the defense. They'll talk about how Jerry Jones put together this wonderful team. The last person that they'll mention is the one they place all the blame on when the team loses. This interview reaffirms for me why I want Dak Prescott at the quarterback position for another 4 to 5 years. This interview showed me that Dak Prescott does have what it takes to lead this team to where we want to be. His leadership skills on and off the field is top quality and overlooked and neglected by the ones that are supposed to pay him and the ones that are supposed to support him. These clips have shown me even more how some of Cowboys Nation don't give a shit about the process and only wants results. The entire offseason situation with Dak Prescott shows me that some fans don't give a shit about what the team does after it gets rid of one of its top players. That some fans don't care whether we make it to the playoffs or not. The team just needs to get rid of Dak for some reason. Those same fans will call you a Dak apologist because you want the front office to stop conducting business as usual and move on in the right way. Dak Prescott won't be a Dallas Cowboy quarterback forever, and I realize this. He is your quarterback now until you get someone who can do a better job at the position. He should remain your quarterback until you feel comfortable moving on. He's going to be your quarterback until Jerry and Stephen Jones can make the moves without sacrificing their position in the NFL. As it stands now, the Dallas Cowboys don't have a viable option at the quarterback position if they move on from Dak Prescott. We don't have one that can ensure even more production out of your wide receiver that the Cowboys are going to pay $35 million to. We don't have a running back room for the new quarterback to lean on just in case he's having a hard time adjusting. So, Cowboys Nation, I know some want to throw Dak out with the Wolves, but that's an emotional decision, and if you know business, you don't make decisions based off emotions. You make them in the best interest of the organization. That includes ticket prices and merchandise sales as well. You lose Dak Prescott, you lose his merch sales, as well as what he brings to the team on and off the field. It's not a good plan, and it's about time for the Dallas Cowboys to stop making decisions without a plan in sight. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I had to make this podcast episode about the interview. I feel people just want to get the juicy clips out of it and not talk about what Dak Prescott was talking about. What did you guys feel about it? Let's have an adult conversation in the comments section. If you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboy fans, drop a like on the video and share this content with your friends who are Cowboys fans. If you are DC for life and support all the players on this team, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live, release a video, or a podcast episode. Also, for $2 a month, you can join the Angry Cowboys Fan channel membership. Once preseason starts, we will be having Skype conversations, more videos, and more press conferences from the unofficial janitor. So make sure you hit that join button so you can get the exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Thank each and every one who is a part of the Angry Cowboys Fan family for watching the videos, for tuning in to the lives, and for supporting the channel. You guys and gals mean the world to me, and I wouldn't want to cheer on our Dallas Cowboys any other way. We're getting ready for a wild season, and I hope I have you here to enjoy it with. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys Fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.